10-year-old boy thrown into crocodile pond as feed. As a wooden gate was opened, a ferocious crocodile pounced on the boy. Start death tumble. The spectators on the shore all placed their bets, betting on the boy to be eaten. Everyone thought this was a no-brainer match. Who knew the boy was so tenacious, breaking free from crocodiles again and again. But every time he tried to climb out of the mud pit, the bastard above will beat him down. Seeing the situation at a stalemate, finally a pirate leader on the shore couldn't stand it anymore. He took a javelin and killed a slave owner. Then he ordered his men to rush forward. Then he took out a dagger. Throw it to the boy who is fighting the crocodile. After the boy got the dagger, actively pounced on the crocodile. Soon both sides disappeared in the quagmire. After a while, my hands slowly emerged from the water. The boy emerged from the mire, a satisfied smile in his hand. From then on, he took the boy in as his godson. Bring him to the cataract master. The cataract master just touched it with his hands. Boy's head. It is concluded that he is a rare weapon practitioner in a century. He will definitely be the strongest among the strong in the future. Godfather was very happy to hear this. So the boy was named Tony. Prepared to train him as his successor. Then they came to the tribe. Everyone here is a master in their respective fields. Then the cataract master. Open up Tony's ran and do meridians. From then on, Tony's martial arts journey officially began. Under the arrangement of Godfather, each master teaches Tony every day. And Tony also trained very hard. After 5 years, he finally succeeded in his training. Even human training. He can no longer be promoted. So he set out to conquer the elephants. After countless falls, stand up again and again, Tony finally made all the elephants submit to him. Godfather thinks the time is ripe. Tony. But before that he has to go through 3 tests. The first test is weapons. Bushido from Japan. As a result, the opponent was captured before he even drew his sword. The second is fighting. First is the martial arts master from the East. Strong body. But he couldn't gain any advantage over Tony. After a few moves he was also subdued. Then a monk with tattoos all over his face came out, facing the strong tattooed monk. At the beginning the monk pressed on step by step. Tony was suppressed and couldn't move at all. Something is wrong. Tony quickly changed tactics. Use your body's flexibility. Find the opportunity to successfully get a barefoot tattoo monk. Next is the final test. Tony came to a dark cave. A woman hid in the corner, crying and shouting for help. Tony was kind enough to help him. The next second, smart hunters often appear as prey. It's true. At this time, the Godfather came over and took out a hand. Turns out that the final test is killing and mercy. To become a king, you must lose your compassion. After that, Tony took over the position of Godfather. Lead your men to intercept merchant ships. Return with a full load again and again. All the men were conquered by Tony's charm. Until one day Tony saw a familiar Buddha statue. His father was the king of a country. But his general Fedu betrayed him, leading to the destruction of the country and the family. Both parents were murdered. He was also captured and sold to a slave owner, fighting crocodiles in the pool to survive. Now he is the dominant one. It's time to go back and settle accounts with them. Tony disguised himself as a beggar and sneaked into the slave market. Find the man who threw him into the crocodile pond. Use the most comprehensive knowledge learned in China. In front of everyone, all the slave owners were abolished. The mercenaries who arrived wanted to take action. But Tony roared and kicked. Next comes another battle. Come one by one, fall one by one, come in a group, fall in a group. Soon Tony's men arrived. Subdue everyone. The frightened slave owner quickly begged for mercy, willing to hand over all money and slaves. But Tony has long regarded money as dirt. How they hurt themselves. How can I go back now? After that, they were thrown into the crocodile pond. All the slaves were freed. Tony's appearance is like a savior. Soon his fame spread. Despite this, Tony still can't forget the hatred of the past. So he decided to take revenge on the king. That night, the king is holding a grand dinner. Tony performs on stage dressed as a wizard. Then he took the opportunity to throw 2 smoke bombs, block everyone's view, rushed straight onto the dragon throne. You're obsessed with him. His goal is clear. That is Bo Wong who once killed his parents. Tony's angry eyes. He has been waiting for this moment for 10 years. After successful revenge, Tony immediately fled. But his dagger was picked up by the king's men. Exposed identity. After Tony returned to the tribe, found the tribe empty, as a masked man appeared. He realized what was happening. Tears burst out. After that, the angry Tony began to discover. Easily killed the masked man. At this time he found that there was a man with a birdcage on his head is standing. Then more and more enemies. Tony's physical strength gradually declined. So I want to go first. But I can't get rid of the man with the birdcage. His position has always been exposed to the enemy's eyes. I don't know how long it took. Tony never fell. The birdcage man finally couldn't help but take action. Just one move hurt Tony. But Tony didn't fall. Simply treat the wound and continue fighting. Just as the enemies started to attack in waves, the wheel warriors and an elephant rushed out to protect Tony. The Luos were frightened and quickly retreated. Finally gave Tony a chance to breathe. Tony followed the tusks and sat on the elephant's back. Suddenly a man in black fell from the sky. I've confirmed that the look in your eyes is not the right one. The man in black seems to be mentally unstable. But every move is fatal. Tony was suppressed and had no power to fight back. Even the elephants were conquered by the men in black. Tony is completely isolated and helpless. He was already seriously injured and surrounded by people. But the enemy did not take action. Tony completely broke down in the next scene. The king is not dead. It turns out he was wearing anti-armor. But the more devastating thing is yet to come. Godfather walked out from the crowd. It turns out that the Godfather and the king are in cahoots. He was the one who killed his parents. Tony was struck by lightning. And now they are all the king's playthings. The king forced them to duel. Only one of the two can survive. In the end, Godfather saved Tony. Choose to sacrifice yourself. However, Tony still couldn't escape the king's clutches. He was then hung up by soldiers with iron chains. About to receive Thailand's most brutal punishment. 18 Arhat keeps hitting Tony's joints. Each stick hits 100 pounds. As the wooden sticks broke one by one, Tony finally couldn't bear it anymore. The body is crumbling. 18 Arhat saw this. Quickly used the stick to lift him up again. The king looked at the embarrassed Tony with great pride. Laughed at him and hurried down to reunite with his parents. Tony was furious when he heard this. Try your best to break free. Using chains as weapons. Venting out the anger in my heart. To quickly resolve the battle, Tony wrapped the chain around his hands. Decided to use Muay Thai, the martial art that I am best at. Even though he is so powerful that it's scary. But the king was outnumbered. As the number of people fighting increases, they fight from day to night. Finally Tony fell to the ground. However, the king did not intend to give up. He ordered his men to tie Tony to a pillar. Continuous whipping. Use a hammer to crush every bone in him. Only make him a cripple. Only then can I relieve the hatred in my heart. And that very night, the king had a nightmare, dreaming that your throne is about to collapse. At this moment, a group of people rushed in from outside. It was the masters who taught Tony martial arts back then. They want to kidnap Tony. At this time, a man in black with strong martial arts skills came. None of the masters can survive in his hands for more than 3 seconds. The battle was quickly resolved. The king was also afraid of the long night and the many dreams. Ordered to contact Tony tomorrow morning. Just as the cabinet clerk was about to start, there was a voice outside asking for mercy. A man said it was the order of Queen Phoenix. Take Tony away. Shortly after Tony was taken away, the king then realized that he had won the prize. My subordinate said, "Isn't this obvious?" So he got a box lunch. At this moment, a flock of crows appeared above the king's head, circling around the palace. The king was still worried. Quickly order your men to hunt down Tony. On the other side, the seriously injured Tony has been taken to the village. But I haven't had time to treat him yet. The pursuers rushed into the village. Several villagers risked their lives to stop. Finally perished together with the enemy. Then Amy brought Tony to the master. The master was stunned after taking a look. Although all 207 of Tony's bones were broken, miraculously he's still alive. There's only one way to save him now. Later, the villagers tried to save Tony. Melt all the gold, silver and treasures. Cast a Buddha statue in Tony's image. Then the master began to chant. After a few days of praying in front of the Buddha statue, Tony finally woke up. Although I saved my life. But his martial arts skills are completely useless. Like a disabled person. Although Amy kept comforting Tony. Glory does knowing me knowing he knows. But Tony has completely lost confidence. Let him go away. At night, Tony came to the cliff alone with a stick in his mouth. Thinking of how many people sacrificed for revenge. Now I have become like this. What's the point of living? Just as Tony was about to end his life, a madman came over. The madman kept laughing at Tony. And said, why don't we dance together? At this time the master also appeared behind him. Advised Tony to be strong. After a day and a night of persuasion, Tony finally gave up the idea of breaking up. Practice according to the master's words. Under the guidance of the master, Tony's body gradually recovered. Although I still have some Parkinson's. But with constant practice, Tony's martial arts skills are stronger than before. The other side. The man in black has learned a strange, evil magic. Torturing the king to death. Even if the king sent his powerful men. Still no match for the man in black. I didn't expect that he would be the one to take away his throne. It turned out to be his own men. After the man in black ascended the throne. First things first. Just send someone to find Tony's whereabouts. At this time, Tony has already achieved success in his training. Easily solved this group of Luluo. But when he returned to the village, the ground was found to be full of corpses of villagers. A May also disappeared. Tony finally realized, wherever you go, you will bring disaster. And all this comes from his obsession with revenge. So he found the master. Asked the master to give him some advice. The master gave him a weapon without saying a word. Let him fight with hope. Tony then came to the king in black alone. Warned them to let go immediately. The man in black had been waiting for a long time. Wave your hands. The sky was scorching hot just now. Suddenly became dark. He has mastered the dark power of the sun. The light will be swallowed up. To irritate Tony, the king killed Ame in front of him. Tony was completely enraged. Kill the first Luluo who rushed up. Then use the most brutal Muay Thai in the world. Beat the enemy to the point of excruciating pain. The hard armor is like foam in front of him. This kind of fight is really a pleasure to watch. It seems that there is no way to stop Tony. The enemy sent out the elephant corps. But they don't know. Tony has had a connection with elephants since he was a child. This actually helped him to deal with the enemy faster. Soon the ground was filled with dying soldiers. The king threw a spear. Instantly pierced Tony. Do you think this is the end? Tony looked at the proud king. Immediately activate the ultimate move. Turn back time to before everything happened. Summons a thunderbolt to strike the king.